knew that.
And, then they're fine. No?
Okay.
That's how come you see the birds. No? They just stand on one. But the snake, when they go, it goes two.
Okay. Okay, John, do you have something to report on your updates?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just the
Sure.
GM report. If you give me 10-15 minutes, I think I can,
Okay, John.
I can get through through it very quickly. Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, our projected capacity is 319. So again, our demand this month is about 243. We anticipate. So we still have 76 reserve, and thus with one base load unit down. We have number 9 under overhaul for 3 weeks, no?
Okay.
And stuff. On the demand, I'd like you to note that here, in September, our peak demand was 256, which is one of the highest already for the past several years. So even with the pandemic, now we're seeing a lot of demand starting to come in, no?
And JP, what do you attribute that to?
There's just more what do you call it, load coming in. Every year we're adding 500, 600 customers. No? And again, remember during the storm, during the pandemic, most of the load shifted from the business sector to the residential homes. And again, despite all the things we're doing, which is DSM, as you will see later, we've invested a lot in DSM. There's a lot of new load coming in. In the engineering report, you see that there's about 17,000 kilowatts of work that is being worked on now. That's about the equivalent of 14 megawatts. So over the next 2 years, you start to see that load coming in. So earlier when we keep saying we gotta get the new power plant on, we gotta do all this, there's a lot of load buildings that are coming up out there. Data center, just apartment units all over the place, residentials.
You have the big shopping place.
And then the Navy is coming on the line. Most of it will start coming on the line around 2024, 2025. So we're starting to take off in the growth. So as you can see right now, we're already in 2021, despite the pandemic, we're higher than 2019 load. No?
John,
Yep.
I have a question though. Last time you gave us a report, you said you noticed that you had consumption, but you didn't have all the billing for it. Remember? There was a bunch of consumption. I don't know. Do you remember that? When you gave us a report, you said that you noticed that you're.
Yeah, here maybe this is what you may be saying, Mr. Chair. We're looking at the sales. I think the peak go up, but the sales were lagging behind.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be catching up now, so it could be just a glitch or whatever. I'm not sure.
I had a question later on. I wanted to figure out is, you're charging batteries now, right?
Yeah.
Our 40 megawatts of batteries.
Yep.
There's no sales for that. There's no revenue for that, right?
That's correct, Mr. Chair. I think that's one aspect. I'll take a look at that. But
Okay.
you're correct in that you have some losses when you charge and discharge the battery. So therefore, even though the demand of the system is higher, the sales will, So we'll try and correlate that.
No,
It's
I'm
starting
just saying,
to pick up again, but I think you're correct. That's the battery charging.
Okay.
And there's 2 battery chargers now, right?
Yeah.
One in Agana and
One in Talafofo. Yeah.
Okay. But it does, our load factor, meaning for the demand, the amount of energy we convert, is still around the 80, 85, which is very good,
Okay.
Next, in terms of the net metering, again, last time there was like 45 due to one development coming in that put all solar PV and that. This month, customer owned. Next. This is the bad news. look at it's almost a 90-degree line in the fuel. So what I've surmised with this, looking at the numbers this morning, is that really based on the pricing now, if you look, they're $90 to $100 a barrel, which is not impacting us as much yet until we start buying next month. I think, the next shipment is coming in next month, right? That's when we'll see these prices. The break-even was about 15.3. I calculated it this morning to be around 16.1 cents. So still not up to the 17 that we are that the rate, the change in rate is
For December.
occurring for, which is again on August 1st we went from 11 cents to 13.1 cents on August 1st. Then we went to 15.3 on October 1st. And then December 1st is the last step, which will go to 17.1. So the break-even will be, based on these numbers, will be around 16, will still be below the 17. No? So that's the good news. Now, the bad news is I don't know when this is going to turn, because you're hearing them say $100 a barrel, and some are saying $200 a barrel. Well, I've seen that back in the 2012, 2013, the $200 a barrel, but it really didn't materialize, which I don't know. My crystal ball says I don't think it will. But, and I'm just hoping that this will start changing the other direction. That way that at least what we have it at the level of is at least recovering our regular costs, no? As far as the under recovery, the 10 million may increase, or we'll see. And then the other thing I'm banking on is that sometime by April next year, the solar PV farm over here will come on the line, and that will help us with the under recovery of several $1 million, no? for the 4 months that it comes on the line. Next. DSM, again, we keep track of this number because it's the amount that we get from the LEAC every 6 months. So we get about 3 million a year. And so we still have 1.5. And again, we continue to climb. I think we'll be about the same as last year or the year before. I'm sorry, last year, in terms of rebates. And of course, here's the biggest rebate, 86% is still to air conditioning, split air conditioners. Next. The dockets, the property insurance, if approved next week, will be on the PUC's docket. Thank you, PUC. Contracted for by November 1st. The PUC with the petition to utilize the TriStar tank for additional diesel as a result of our transition to ultra-low sulfur diesel has been approved by the PUC. There were 2 bills introduced by Senator San Agustin on our behalf. One is for the refinancing of the 2012 bonds, and the other one is for the exemption for the construction of the 41 megawatt machine. Both bills have been introduced. One, the 41 megawatt, to Senator Paris's committee, and the refinancing to Senator Rigel's committee. I do have something a little after this, just to give you an update. Both of these we came to the CCU and the reasoning why we're doing this. No? But again, I'm happy to see that the bills have been introduced, and I hope that we can get help in getting this approved. We'll be sending out letters to the individual senators for their support and reaching out to them to see if there's any questions. No? The MOA was executed. I just want to be, and therefore we're having our first Zoom meeting today with DOE. Trying to just feel the ground and where we're heading, what are the priorities. Then after that, then we will, work something together, and then probably we'll have some kind of a joint, announcement as to what our full plans are going forward. No? Ukudu, again, they have a variance for the height. It was approved by the Guam Land Use Commission. There's some things that they're working on right now, but basically, again, this is a step forward in the construction of the new power plant. I'm not going to go through all of this. It's here for your information. Here's what we keep track of. Anything here could delay the project. However, things are moving in one way or another. The permits are, although we don't have it in hand, they're in the process of being reviewed and all that. And of course, we're working on the exemption for the 41 megawatt machine. Next. Integrated resource plan. I had hoped to bring it to you today, but unfortunately, I'd like to bring it to you in November. So I can summarize all of the volumes here. You see here, there's 9 volumes. I'm going to provide you all the volumes, no? But I think it's important that we summarize what this volume is saying, no? So we're going to do that. In addition to that, we're still trying to complete the analysis of the distribution circuits. There's a lot of net metering solar customers in those. LNG is analyzing the impact, the voltage swings, and all of that. And that's part of the requirement for the PUC. So that should be done in the near future, and we should bring this to you in the November meeting, and then you can look at it and ask for your approval probably in the January or February timeframe, no? Okay. And again, it involves all of this. I'm sorry, it's a little difficult to read. However, on the but again, it explains all the different factors that are looked at in putting together an integrated resource plan. No, and again, this is gonna drive our construction requirements for the next 5 to 10 years. No? And again, from your approval and then the PUC's approval. COVID-19, Trish, you want to just give an update on this?
Yes, we are at 98% fully vaccinated. A lot of those that were unvaccinated or those with one dose, they proceeded to get fully vaccinated. We have a program, it's a digital platform that allows those that have been tested to apply for an appointment online. And so with this online appointment, we can track everything. And more importantly, it talks to the WebIZ, and it's very convenient. So we're looking to give that as a value-added service to our employees. And our policy is about we got all the comments in, so should be giving it to the GM for his review and push that.
Yeah, we send our policy out to the employees to provide feedback, so we should be ready to come out. And again, we're in contact. We're working with GWA also, so that because similarly they have mentioned that they're going to work with us on the same policy. No?
Okay. Commissioner Santos.
I'm looking at the presentation, and thank you, Tracy. So the testing is employee only, right?
Correct.
What happens if it's house contact? How do you guys handle family members?
At this point, we don't. We want to understand what the impact is on GPA and our capacity to test. So right now it is with employees. However, sir, you do have, what we looked at is we serve a role that if you are symptomatic in any way, you shouldn't be coming to work anyway. For those that are close contacts and we believe that it might be exposure to a positive case at GPA, then we can test. If you stay home, if we can test, it would be outside in the park.
You mean?
So we would take the sample.
Oh, okay. Got it. That's what I meant to.
Outside, not coming in.
Right, but
we would take the sample and process it inside, and then the employee would get their results remotely.
When public health approved you guys to do this, did they ask if, for example, in household contact, that you're able to at least assist on the family side? Because the quicker you get to that, the less exposure, right, for all our employees.
Yeah, that is true. Currently, we do. So currently we do do our internal contact tracing, and we provide a report to Public Health. So Public Health has all of the information, so we alleviate their workload that way. As far as testing the household contacts, at this point they didn't ask us to do so, but we do give them the resources, not only Public Health, but also the clinics that test for free.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, next. Emergency assistant, rental assistant, about 848,000. So this has been working well between DOA and GPA. These are paying for customer bill. Projects again that are going to enhance our customer service areas include the digitization of our rebate application. Right now, customers have to come in and fill out an application for the rebates. We can want to do that online. So we're 8% completed on that. New mobile app bill payment solution. Again, again, those services to kick off in November. I will in next month begin to highlight some of the key aspects of the reports by the different divisions. For example, in the customer service, the foot traffic, the number of customers that come into the centers. As we have seen, it really went down from before the pandemic to now, right? And so again, that's part of our goal here, is to continue to reduce the traffic of customers coming in and get most of our work done online. So again, you start to see this. And then we also have a survey that we have gone out and talked to our customers, really trying to understand what do they need from us instead of us assuming what is best for them. And again, this will bring to you in November a summary of what the customers have said, what the customer needs from us. So that, and then the balance is really all the different KPIs in terms of sales. It's been, again, turning positive for us. So although we have budgeted $155 million for the next 2 years, from what I can see, those are good. That's going to be quite conservative. As could be seen, I think, in the financial reports coming up, is that our debt service coverage is up to about 1.6 something, right, for the last month. So remember, we're targeting 1.3. So again, conservatively, our financial situation is in good shape. Bond refunding, again, I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but if you recall, Mr. Chair, we went through this in the earlier meeting. I forgot what month. April. The bond refinancing with the CCU approved for us to pursue PUC and the legislature. And again, the reason why is historically low rates. Secondly, go ahead next. And this is our profile now. We're trying to get this to change to the next profile, which is to take our flatten it out over a longer period of time, because the assets, our life is much longer than what the bond life are. And by doing this, based on the previous analysis made by Barclays, and I guess this would be typical in any refinancing, I would assume, we can drop our debt service coverage by about $15 million. And again, probably around a 3-point-something% all-in cost compared to the 5% that we're paying today. So the refinancing will bring that. If you recall, I now have to bring that watermark. I think I'll bring it back in November. For the new power plant, it requires so much debt service, right? Plus, so how were we going to pay for it? We were going to pay for it by refinancing and reducing our debt coverage, which is now 15 million. We were going to pay for it from retirement of other units, the Cabras 1 and 2, and then the huge fuel savings from the efficiency of the new power plant. So the result of all of this, once this is all done, is that the rates are going to go down for the customers. So again, this is one of the reasons for the refinancing. But most importantly, though, it's a huge savings, which is something that could go away in the not too distant future. So again, this work is proceeding. That's why the legislation. Once the legislation is completed, then the PUC will entertain the process. No? Next, so that's the bond financing, Mr. Chair. The next one is the 41 megawatt Cabras. This is the second legislation. Next. And again, the whole Cabras power plant area is going to be clean. After 50 years of burning heavy oil, cheap but dirty oil, high sulfur. The whole area in the PD8 and 9 is going to be ultra low sulfur diesel. Cabras 1 and 2 is going to be retired, and even the 41 megawatt is going to be ultra low sulfur diesel. So that whole area is improved many, many times over, and most especially in 2025, no? When everything is completed. There's a law in the books that requires that no power plant should be built within 1,500 feet. But this was applied this was put together back in the early 90s when the Machechi power plant came on the line. And so the Machechi power plant stack was increased, and since then we've been burning ultra low sulfur diesel. So for the past 20 years, we've been operating Machechi up and down every day, almost every day, without any incident, because they're burning ultra low sulfur diesel and the stack height is great. However, that law is still in the books, and although we didn't think it was entirely necessary, KEPCO lenders require that we clear the books and making sure that law does not interfere with the financing of the new power plant. And so they asked us to see if we can get an exemption for that, because the power plant area that we're going to build was turned over to us by the federal government for construction of power plants. And again, that area will be substantially clean. However, it's like 1,300 feet from the Rios school. So again, this is where we need their help to get us the exemption. And we will reach out to all the senators and to DOE, to the mayor, EPA, and everyone to let them understand our scenario and get their support for this.
GB, real quick, on the legislative findings for that bill, was it made clear that that's not a prime power generation requirement, right? That there's going to be a limited amount of hours that unit runs, in certain scenarios, right?
That's right. It's really a standby or reserve. Meaning, really, so if you need it, then you can turn it on the line just to serve for that short period of time. It's not like the base load unit at Okudu. Your future energy will be provided by the Okudu 198 megawatt plus the solar PVs. It's only during certain times that if there's an emergency, then the unit comes on the line. So I anticipate these things will run less than 5 or 10% of the time of the year. Or total, yeah.
It's not in the legislative findings. I think we probably would want someone assistance from one of the senators to amend it. During when it comes out of committee, but it should be made real clear, that this is not a prime power generation plant, right? It's something that's going to come on, based on whatever GPA, forecast it to run.
And then there's another, this is what's all part of the Okudu contract, right? But there's another reason why we're putting it there and we separated the two. One was, of course, to permit this power plant faster, get to the savings faster and the reliability faster, because all the load that's going to be coming is going to put us at a risk. Secondly, the plan in itself, our youngest power plant is about 23 years
I
old.
get what you're saying, so we should put like.
So when you start thinking about when you get to 100% renewable, you'll be close to 50 years old.
Tell John that, so that he understands.
See? So who's going to supply the reliability then, right? Only the Okudu plan, which is will be 25%, about 25 years old by 2045, plus this new power plant. Everybody else will probably be retired. So this is why this is very important for us. It's really not today. It will save money as we move forward, but more importantly, in the bigger picture, as your reliability for the system. Because, you start running power plants 40, 50 years old, and you run lots of issues, Especially, so again, this is what we're doing. Machechi was an issue, it was resolved. Been operating 20 years without any issues. And again, the location of this new power plant is substantially further away and won't be an issue and will be approved by everyone that, air permits and all of that. So that, Mr. Chair, is my report for today.
Do we have any other questions? We might have more questions on Tuesday as we review. Real quick, I think we all want to hear from our finance. How are we doing?
Yes,
What's-
we're actually very good, very nice.
Okay.
We have positive income, the estimate is about 1.6.
Okay.
Cash-wise, thanks to governor giving us $15 million, we allocated the self-interest fund. We have enough money to pay for operations and
Okay. I think we had wanted an idea, a rough idea of how the year ended. FY 2020, right? Mr. Santos, did we ask for?
I do have it, but...
No, for Tuesday. For Tuesday.
They're
Yeah.
just going to give a brief. We're
Oh,
gonna-
sure, I got that slice already.
Okay.
Okay. Just so we know where we're going. And the only thing that we haven't brought up in some time is your accounts receivables. I see on page 118 of the board books, your total private accounts receivables is about $20 million, and your government accounts receivable is about $7 million. And the bulk of that seems to be in, in the 30 days, in the 30 days. After that, it drops off. So I guess we're doing pretty good.
Yes.
Do we have any big problem on children out there?
Not really.
Okay,
One of the
good.
things that makes it a little bit bigger is because we had this program where we extended plans for some of our customers during the COVID season.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm talking more about the government account, John.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The government accounts seem to be
Current.
current for the most part. Okay,
For them.
okay, good. Any questions? Or we might have more questions on Tuesday. Anything else? Is that it?
That's it, Mr.
Motion to
Chair.
adjourn? Meeting's adjourned.
You want to shut that off?